Hey UPCS students, Tracy Novick's Worcester School Committee. I'm running for one of the 2 Worcester School Committee at-large seats on November 7th. I heard you're having a mock election, which I think is fantastic. And so here's a couple of things about me. In terms of my own experience, I'm a mom of 2 Worcester Public School graduates, one current high school senior at Burncoat who's in the dual language program. I'm a former high school English and history teacher, and right now I work in public policy and school finance for the State School Committee Association. I'm on my 5th term in the Worcester School Committee and running for re-election because there's some great stuff happening that I want to make sure we continue. The first thing that I want to mention to you all in terms of policies that I think are really important that I've been working on is our Student Advisory Council. So we're required by Massachusetts general law to have a meeting every other month with a body that is elected, one representative from each of the high schools, so you do have one, and then they together elect an ex officio member who comes to all of our Worcester School Committee meetings. So the first thing is that there is a student representative on the Worcester School Committee. She's non-voting, but she is at every meeting. If she can't be there, someone else is. Please use that. The other thing is that every other month we meet with that collective body and they set the agenda. And so I really would urge you also to consider using that because I think it's actually one of the most important things that we do. Things that I have thought that I've worked on that I think are really important. We know we have a new superintendent. I was the one who stepped out and said that we needed to do a national search. I think that that was hugely important and has been enormously beneficial. Love the work that Dr. Monaris is doing, and I'm really hopeful about the work that's going to be continuing. I was very, very active in the decades-long push to reform the state funding system, which got us the Student Opportunity Act, which is going to bring us over $100 million over the course of the 6 years. It's going to substantially increase our budget, which is going to then allow us to do everything else that we need to do. And then the third thing that I've been really active in is school facilities. And just this past week, we got notice that the 3 things that the Worcester School Committee had particularly been pushing for, which was to uncap the amount of funding that the state is actually spending on it. They raised the cap, to bring back the program where we get roofs and windows repaired, and then also to increase the amount of money that is coming back to us for the Burncoat project was happening. But something that I have been really adamant about is the fact that we need to continue to work citywide on things because we've been building our large high schools, which is great, but that doesn't solve everything. The other thing that I did was I came back onto the Worcester School Committee in part because of student transportation. I know that's less of an issue at UPCS, but I suspect that you probably know of how much of an issue we were having with student transportation across the city under our former contractor. While we are still not doing everything that we really want to in terms of the number of drivers we have and so forth, it's been an enormous improvement, and so that's something that I'm very, very proud of. In terms of things looking ahead, we have to implement a new strategic plan. There's been some surveys circulating, so I hope that you'll consider jumping in on that. The end of the implementation of the Student Opportunity Act is coming, so so how do we adjust to the new reality in terms of the amount of money we have is in there. And then also really just continuing to grow the level at which we are making decisions based on things like student voice, parent voice, community voice. And that's something that you can help with, whether you're a voter or not, in particular, of course, through our student advisory. So thanks for asking. Best wishes with your voting. And quite honestly, if there's ever anything that I can do, please get in touch. Thanks.